verse number 56. Mahāmudrām nabho mudrām uddiyānam jalandharam mūlavandhasya yo vetti sayogi mukti bhajanaha. So that means in the last class we discussed that one is supposed to know Mahāmudrā. No means here practice, and that too continuously without any break. Because in yogic practice what happens? Once you stop, again to restart, regain, it really needs a lot of effort unless you have some grace. That's why many people come to yoga and they drop. Because what happens, first and foremost thing, the moment you get into yoga, even if little bit you practice pranayama and few other things, so you will discover that you will have a lot of potentiality and also some type of blessings and external vibhuti. So once you get some external vibhuti, you may get carried away with those vibhuti. So vibhuti means here different type of, comfort that is visible. It can be in the form of name and fame, attraction, financial status, or you may gain something. So that which will be visible, something, exclusive, something very important. Then once the person gets that, gets carried away, then you start reaping the result of the practice. And in the process, you forget the practice. And again to come back, it needs real grace. That's why we make sure everywhere, any yogic group, either they have to be under the teacher or they have to be in a group or they have to be completely isolated. Only there are 3 methods, there is no 4th method at all. So those who are completely isolated, absolutely no problem, because always 24 hours they are. And those who are with a teacher, so again they are always put back on the track. And at least if the teacher is not there, when you are in a group, so because of the group energy, even if you go here and there, group pulls you back. Whereas if I practice yoga the way I want, then I start stopping or something happens, definitely it becomes very difficult. That's why many yogis, they do know they flourish in the beginning and later on they go other way around. This is the point I would like to highlight. So here, yaha vetti means the one who practices follows in keeping with these 3 aspects. If there are some exceptions, that is different, but let us not follow the exceptions. Now the question may arise, okay, fine, so what is this Mahāmudrā you call? So this Mahāmudrā we need to see very nicely. Now it says Bhakshonyastahanu prapidya suchiram yoni cha vasangrina hastabhyam anudharayet prasaritam padam tatha dakshinam apurya swasanena kukshiyugalam baddhashanei rechaye yesha vyadhi vinashini sumahati mudrā nrunam kathyate. So, esha mudra sumahati mudra iti nrunam kathyate. So that means what it says very nicely, that this mudra is called sumahati, that which brings great thing in life. And of course is a great by itself. And it is said to be, this is how, and for whom? Nrunam, for the human being, for the practitioner, for the seeker. So, sadhakanam ityartha. Now, how, what is this thing? And this is, look, why it is called Sumahati Mudra? Because Vyadhi Vinashini. So this is something destroys, or you can say destroyer of all diseases. So disease destroying. Because we know Shariram means Rogam. It is a package. Like if you want to get coin, head and tail should be part of it. You want to say, no, I want a coin only with head. Is it possible? Because the head and tail are a package. In fact, putting together is called a coin. So also, Shariram, body, means Rogam, disease, okay? So body means disease is a package. Without disease, there is no body. That's why present day what we say, in this body, millions of diseases are there. How long you are a healthy person? As long as your immunity system is able to fight with them. The day your immunity system is not able to fight with them, what happens? One after other, these or those diseases pop. Then you become unhealthy. Not that it is not there. Everything is in the body. You name it, any disease, that is in the body itself. And here he says, Vyadhi Nivarini. So once it says Vyadhi Vinashini, Vyadhi Nivarini. So Vyadhi Nivasini, that means all sort of diseases. And it destroys. So disease destroying. Imagine a body without any disease. What a blessing. Only who can understand? Those who are above 70, okay? When you are 20, 30, 40, even if sometimes 50, you don't understand really. So what is disease and what is body, okay? Above 70, you can ask anybody. If they are able to get up morning properly, that is the blessing. In fact, that day they celebrate. However, let me not get into that aspect. Here he says, look, so what is to be done? Bhakshonyat hanuhu prapidya. So that means what is to be done here is, now, first thing is, Bhakshanyastya hanu. Now, hanu means that the chin. So chin, what is to be done? Now, nyastyaha bhaksha. So chin is to be placed on chest. So when you place the chin on the chest, so which bandha you call as? Jalandhara iti, okay? So okay, so I have to once in a while do the cross questioning. Then what is to be done? Prapidya. So you need to firmly press. In the beginning you press very strongly, later on you just hang it. So why prapidya? Strongly you need to press because you need to know how to lock your Visuddha chakra. So generally the moment you bring it down, the lock is supposed to happen. It's like when you learn driving. So in the beginning, you held the steering. How do you hold the steering? So you hold the steering very strongly. You understand? Except steering, everything moves. And later on, as you keep driving, so how do you hold the steering? In fact, there is no need to hold. With one finger, with one hand phone, you know what are the things, okay? However, so like that, first propidium, and how long? It says suchiram. So as long as possible, at the same time as long as comfortable. So extending your comfort zone. You need to keep practicing. And of course, he says, look, not only with that, also what is to be done? He says the yoni. So yoni means here the root, the muladhara iti. So muladhara to be done, what is to be done? Vyasangrinam hastabhyam anudharayet. Now this muladhara is supposed to be supported with both the hands. Prasarita padam tadha dakshinam iti. And what is to be done? So he says, the right foot is stretched. I think I need to show this posture sometime. Maybe I'll send a photo, okay? So that it becomes easier. Or else it becomes really difficult. And then what happens? Apuriya swasanena kukshi yugalam. I think if I'm right, in Yoga Chudamani, when we took the class, those who were in Chennai ashram, we had practiced this. And it was nice. Maybe we need to see some video if we can trace those videos. So it would be great. And secondly, he says, Baddha sanei rechaye. So what is to be done? Now, it's a very simple way to look at that the right leg is stretched. Now left leg already comes to the perineum. So as this left leg heel comes to the perineum, that's why Siddhasana would be the best posture here. Right leg is stretched. Now you bend forward. And you need to breathe. Now when you breathe, in such a way, very slowly you need to breathe, and while holding the breath, bring down the chin. And the retention should be as long as possible. Then releasing the chin, exhale. And again, inhale, bring down the chin and go to the posture. And if that is done, you will discover all your, body alignment. I won't say disease will go away. The body alignment will take place. It is exactly like, why are you using this word alignment? When you drive the car and your wheels are not aligned. Why wheels are not aligned? Because you went to mountain. Lot of potholes, this and that. Then what happens? The moment you drive on the road, So you want to go to left, the vehicle goes towards right. Sometimes it happens, okay? Because the wheels are not aligned. So the moment the wheels are being aligned, what happens? The vehicle listens to you. Means the steering doesn't behave funny, the wheels doesn't go here and there. It's an amazing point. And especially those who are practiced, those who know very well, generally when you drive the car, your hands should not have pressure. So if you have some pressure in your hand, that means what happens? Your wheels to be aligned. I don't drive much, okay, but few times when I drive, I observe, okay. So how this wheel alignment makes the travel comfortable, easier. So here this posture aligns the body, and once the body is aligned, automatically what happens? So you discover that your disease is no more. And how? He says again, continuing, Chandrangena samasbhyasya Suryangena abhyasyat punaha Yavatulya bhavet sankhya Tato mudram visarjayet. He says, look, we start this with Chandraanga. So Chandraanga means Ida ityartha, with left side. So mudra to be practiced, first when you do breathing, left through the inhale. So when you left through the inhale, what happens is, technically, the moment you start inhaling through Ida, from Ida, it has to come to Pingala through Susumna. And always it is better to come from Ida to Susumna rather than Pingala to Susumna. That's why always we make it very clear. This is also another question we raise in yoga teachers training course, that when we do Surya Namaskar, why do we start with right leg? Have you ever seen Surya Namaskar to start with left leg to take back? We never do that. So always we start with taking the right leg first. So now you can say technically is wrong. Here is left, how come it is right? No. Because we have discussed earlier, the leg is opposite. Right leg is connected to Ida. Left leg is connected to Pingala. So when we take right leg back in Surya Namaskar in the first time, what happens? We activate Ida. So always the policy is bringing Ida to Susumna, rather Pingala to Susumna. Make this note. However, so here he says, look, now first start with Ida, then of course you do retention, then release, then go to Pingala. Now as many numbers you do in Ida, that many numbers you have to do in Pingala, so that it is being balanced. That's why in Nadi Suddhi, very simple way do, because Nadi Suddhi becoming the prior qualification, prior practice for higher pranayama. So we start with left and go to right. Then finally we exhale through the left and complete it. So that becomes one round. So to balance the whole system, then only here he says, you need to balance both Ida and Pingala. And interestingly, I have observed that when you start doing this balancing, including in Nadi Shuddhi itself, you can feel if you are little sensitive. Whatever, problem you have in the body, accordingly you will be able to do or not to do this Nadi Shuddhi, means left and right correspondingly. Because if the Ida and Pingala practices done easily, comfortably, that means you don't have any issue in the body. There are many tricks and techniques I would like to say you today also, another trick. You can see how to know whether you have disease in the body or not. It's a very simple principle to understand. It's not a big at all. So first what you need to do is, you need to elevate yourself. That's why I asked you to spend some time, half an hour every day. So to elevate, nothing much to worry. Just you can do Nadi Shuddhi for some time. Of course, later on Khechari Mudra and other things are going to come. You can take the help of them. Then once you are elevated, you can close your eyes. Or even if you can lie down. And when you lie down, close your eyes. Or even if you sit down, close your eyes. Visualize from toes to head. You will be shocked to know wherever your mind is stuck, does not move up or goes out, that means in that portion of the body there is some issue. Very simple format. You can see for yourself. Hey, don't do for others, okay? Only for yourself, okay? I remember there was a group, so they are called scanning group, okay? So they will keep scanning others, but they don't scan themselves, okay? Hey, that's not right. So it is very easy. Just close your eyes, visualizing your toes, feet, heels, calf muscles, knees, thighs, hips, back. Then as you see, again, abdomen, stomach. As you go up and up, then again, internal organs. Now you will discover whichever internal organs you say, wherever you have problem, there you will get stuck. You cannot move further. You will be stuck there. Or mind will go some other way. Mind will not allow to move further. That's why this self-healing is really very much required, and one is supposed to know this much at least. However, coming to the point here, when the person starts practicing, definitely that person is going to get many benefits. What are them? They nahi pathyam apathyam va rasa sarve pini rasa api bhuktam visham ghoram piyushamiva jiryate. Says, look, if a person spends time in this practice called Mahāmudrā, nahi pathyam apathyam va. For this person, there is nothing called pathyam to be eaten. There is nothing called not to be eaten. Means there is no food which is to be eaten, while there is no food forbidden. Generally, as you grow old, especially those who are diabetic, what do they say? Sorry, I cannot eat sugar. So why I cannot eat sugar? Because sugar is forbidden for me. I am too sweet, you understand? Means my pancreas is not able to generate insulin. This is technical language. So that means for that person, sweet item becomes avatya, not to be taken, to be avoided. And as you grow old, everything becomes apatyam, okay? You become paityam and everything becomes apatyam. So paityam means, mad, okay? In Tamil, okay? And this is what happens. That's why more you have restrictions, I don't want to eat this, I don't eat that, I don't, more you are paityam, okay? Means there is a lot of problem in your body and of course in your mind. However, that's my way of looking at. However, he says, there is nothing called pathyam, there is nothing called apatyam. Means there is no restriction at all. Body has no issue in short. And not only that, also he says, rasaha sarvepi nirasaha. This is a beautiful point to observe. So we all go crazy in two ways. With reference to food, we have our old habit. That's why the food that we consume in our childhood, that always remains favorable for us whole life. Like a South Indian person, even if it's Chinese or Italian food, will end up with tairsadam. Without tairsadam, means curd rice, food is not complete. You understand the concept? They will eat everything, but towards end will ask for what? End is there or not? If there is no curd rice, the food is not complete. What can that person do? Because the person has developed that taste from the childhood. Like same thing also Italians. If you do not tell the word pasta, forget giving pasta, okay? So after a few days, you have to tell them the word pasta. Listening to the word pasta, they keep quiet, okay? So each person has developed a taste, not necessarily country, based on your house, upbringing, many factors. So that taste, a person always wants to hold on to. This is one way. Means we eat based on suggestions from the memory. This is the one point I would like to bring it very carefully. Second type of suggestion, which is much more dangerous, that is body ask for it. For example's sake, if you are a diabetic, the body will ask for more sugar-oriented food, sweet food. If you are having cholesterol, body will ask for more fried food. Have you ever observed or not? So that is how you can see the salty food, pungent food, because we have 5 types of food, because that is what we try to bring it out. So that means what? All the flavors: sweet, pungent, bitter, salty, and sour. And you will be shocked to know that each rasam that is activated or the tongue asks for it based on the body problem. It's amazing thing to observe. That's why if your body is asking a given type of food too much, I'm sure there is some issue with your body. Check it. So that's why you need to understand very carefully whether it is memory-based suggestion, habitual suggestion, or body asks for it. Is it clear? If you do not understand this, it's going to be very complicated in future. So if it is memory based, no problem. Whereas if it is body oriented suggestion, you will discover more complications. That's why we say long before the body goes through turmoils or difficulties, the tongue reflects everything. The color of the tongue, fat, thin, different things, lot of discussions are there on tongue. That's why when you have fever, especially, always I used to ask as a child, I have fever. What is the necessity of this doctor to make and trying to see the tongue? You understand? Is there any connection between fever and tongue? Because the doctor first will see what? Your tongue. It's amazing because this is the concept, okay? So now because the tongue reflects everything, what is happening in the body. And here we go one step ahead, that all the rasas become nirasa. That means neither body demands nor memory demands. Can you see this point here? Neither body demands nor memory demands. So all this pipe has no impact on a person. That's why when you eat salty, sometimes, hey, is it salty? Oh, it's salty. Okay. Fine. There is no salt. Okay. That's why we have a principle. This is called cultural practices. Whatever comes on your plate, don't complain. Once it has come to the plate, accept it gracefully and eat. There we practice rasa nirasaha iti. Can you see this point? Gracefully, we accept, we take it. Once it is being served on your plate, unless there is some real issues, okay? That's a different thing altogether. Not for the tongue's sake, not for the memory's sake. Don't make efforts. I don't eat this, I don't eat that, I want this, I want that. That means something seriously wrong. So if a person does this thing, nobody can tolerate. Neither you can tolerate yourself. It will be very difficult to tolerate people to tolerate you, and you yourself tolerate yourself. However, here he says, this also, not only that, another line he uses a word, api bhuktam api visham ghoram visham piyush siriyate. Even a person consumes visham, that to ghoram. So visham means poison, that to deadly poison. Remember, food poison will never take place. The person will convert into a nectar. Amazing. So that means what? That's why we say the first rule of this, that's why many people say, look, this concept of this atapi jirna bhava, with this I'll stop it, already I have crossed time. Atapi jirna bhava, vatapi jirna bhava. As all of you know, Agastya Rishi. So supposed to be Agastya Rishi was being, was asked to travel from north to south. So he is in south of India. And he was a great Rishi. And as he goes, so there was twin brothers, they are being blessed. So what they do, so anybody passes by, whether Rishi or anybody, purposefully what they do, so one fellow will be killed and they will make the meat out of that and create good food and serve the person. Come, who is on the way? Come, I want to serve you. Hungry, come. So the moment that fellow is inside, then what happens? This fellow will say, suppose Atapi, come away. So all these things will join together and the stomach will burst. And they kill and they eat. So these two brothers were demons, creating havoc for everybody. And they were having that sort of power. So they did not know, because whole gods, they got scared. What is to be done? How to handle this situation? Okay. Finally, when this Agastya Rishi was traveling from north to south, so he had to pass by. So they did the same drama. Agastya Rishi could understand there is something wrong. So this is what called exception, not that Agastya Rishi ate human meat. No, that is not a concept, okay? So that's why these are the small stories being presented in Buddhism indifferently. Just a point to note it. However, so what happened? So these two brothers did the same mess. So Agastya Rishi said, okay, no problem, I have to complete this chapter because I am going for a purpose. So the moment ate, knowing everything. After eating, what he did? So he put his hand on his, Kundalini place. We discussed, okay? Atapi jirna bhava. Oh, Atapi, inside you are there. Get digested. Now what happens? This other brother calls, Atapi, come away, come. But nothing is happening because already everything is digested. And the curse was, if one is dead, other will be dead. They were twins. So the concept here is, a yogi can digest anything and everything. Even if poison, please understand, will be converted as a nectar. That's why if you have food poison for small things here and there, that means you are not practicing at all. Is it clear? Because the digestive fire has to be strong. I think I should stop today.